Of the devil, where you commit crimes and solve even weirder crimes. Why do I forgot to take off my barriers. I guess I have them now. We were in the midst of solving a crime, one we didn't commit, so that's probably not the best. Oh no, there's a crime. How horrible. God, I really wish there wasn't a crime right now. I say, with my job as a defense attorney. It's almost hypocritical. Anyway, let's remember what we were doing. Please help me, game. Something. You're weird, and you're the judge, and also we're cross-examining the first witness here in the whatever trial. So it's not technically a trial, but it kind of is. So we need to act it like a trial, don't we? We'll need to give it our best, because I guess we kind of have to. I mean, we're too far in, too deep in the hole to not do that. So, good luck to me. Anyway, let's see. We were calling, yes, the first witness. We are going to cross-examine something or another. Okay. I hope this goes well. Do you want barriers? Hold on, I can make that happen. Maybe they will help in your endeavors. You can have them too if you want, Sarah. I have no qualms.
It's Yumi.
Oh, yes, get that back on you. Go on. Anyway. Hey. What was your voice again? Like, sorry, I've entirely removed her entire being from my memory because she is a character. Maybe too much of a character for my liking. Let me delve into the depths of my mind. And hydrate myself.
So how about it, pretty lady? You swear to tell the whole and unadulterated truth to the best of your ability?
I do.
Good enough for me.
Barriers, always.
Dr. Seto, you were in charge of the autopsy for David Asher, were you not?
I was.
And when did you make your examination?
I started last night. Well, technically 1 a.m. would be very early this morning. I mean, everything seems decent so far. I think you can still say last night if you're talking about 1 in the morning.
Objection.
Well, I'm sorry. 1 in the morning means it wasn't last night. It means it was in the morning. Are we doing that? Really? Come on. I think, Emma, you need to hear a little bit better. Give you some bear ears for the occasion. Maybe I need something other than bear ears. What do I have? I have plenty of images. How many images do I actually have in my images folder? I keep every single image. I have 13,500 images. So, good for me, I guess. It's about as many images as I could possibly need. I have a Wi-Fi symbol in here. It's just a weird headband now. Because it's cropped. Oh boy. Maybe we need why do I have this? Oh, it doesn't show because it's cropped. Hold on. I'll fix it. We're maids now. Can be maids now. My goodness. I'm a maid now.
Master, what bidding do you want done?
My goodness. This is truly the peak of my streaming career. Becoming a maid. My goodness. Anyway, with objection? Yeah.
The defense will have their opportunity to cross-examine. Until then, they should refrain from making errant remarks.
What? All I said was...
Yeah, what she said.
You mean sustained?
Don't get cute with me, counselor.
I didn't do anything, you lost me money! I was gonna gamble with that later. Well, I'm sorry. Fine, I could buy stuff all I want to. Morgan time! It's Morgan time. London head empty. Easy handle with kid. What in the world are some of these? Ray's undercover. We're clearing episode 1 on a high roller. Sarah on the try to pet the cat. Kaneko art. Okay. So you get the bunny outfits for doing it on a high roll. Man, now I want those. Now I want them. It's Morgan time. Fine. You say so. Man. Really puts my everything to good use. Anyway, what was I doing again? Was I supposed to be cleaning? Sorry, I'm bad at being a maid. Just position that a little differently. There you go, that'll work. I'm a maid.
Being cute is my job.
Oh goodness, we barely even started.
That seemed pretty bad, hadn't I?
Making mistakes will increase your blind. Thanks, appreciate it. Hold on, I can fix that. We might need a visual representation. Are you telling me I don't have an eye patch in my 1,300 images? Excuse me? You know what? This will work instead. I'll be a cat. Why do I have the cat one? I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just wondering, you know? I'll be a cat now. Cats are blind. Wait, are they? Are cats blind? Like, I don't think they're blind, but like, can they see like good? How to look after blind cats? Well, that's good. Cats see very well. Cats are born blind and deaf. Yeah, I'm a baby. I'm a newborn child. The more blind you see -1, that's my minus age. If it gets too high, I go back in the womb. Latest, how much credit you lose for answering it correctly when you yourself aren't controlling the answer. Blind increments on its own throughout the trial as the stakes get higher, but resets at the end of each day. What does that mean? Blind starts at and caps at a higher number if you're playing on high roller. Great. I'm not. I'm a cat. Mind the blind number at the top left when it appears. It helps you gauge what you stand to lose. All my money. Great.
You should try to avoid being penalized in the future.
Thanks for the tip. I'd appreciate it right now. Shake it off. I'll get my chance to raise objections of my own soon enough.
Dr. Seto, were you able to determine the cause of death?
He passed away due to respiratory failure.
And could you explain what that means to the court?
Essentially, he wasn't getting enough oxygen to his blood. It seems by the time he arrived at the hospital, he was no longer breathing.
Oh no.
How horrible. Does that... What do I mean? Does that mean anything? I know what that means. You just explained it for the court. Oh, it was for the court though, not for the cat. Meow.
What does a respiratory failure look like? What are the symptoms?
I think it means that your respiratory fails. Just a hunch. No, I mean you're not intaking oxygen, or the oxygen is getting lost somewhere. Or we could do lightheaded, dizziness, fainting too, sure.
And there would be lightheadedness, dizziness, fainting.
I mean, death. There's, you get hallucinations after a point. The world will be dark. So, there's a long list.
Pale skin and a bluish tint around certain extremities.
And the condition he was in matched those symptoms.
Correct.
In your experience, what are the most common causes of respiratory failure?
It can be caused by injury or disease, but the subject had no wounds or reported illnesses, and otherwise appeared to be perfectly healthy.
What else could cause respiratory failure, then?
It is also commonly seen in fatal drug overdoses.
Drug overdoses. Did you perform a tox screen on Dr. Asher?
Yes, but his tox screen came back clean. Whatever killed him wasn't something we've encountered before.
Hi, Aster Okerman. Are those cat ears? I'm glad you noticed. I'm a cat now. Hey, Sarah, do you want to be a cat too?
I kind of like my bear ears better.
Well, too bad. Be a kitty and drink your milk.
Wait, a clean talk screen? Clean.
Huh? Yeah, if you want it too, tutorial text, you can have cat ears. I don't mind. Serious kitty. Cute little kitty. Little baby kitty. Dialogue will proceed automatically during testimony, but you can choose to advance text manually with continue. Great. You'll need to read carefully and wait for the witness to make statements that sounds wrong. I'm really good at that. They'd hit the call button to call their bluff. Hey, I've hit call buttons before. Not like this, but sure. Over the call button, toggle the insight to focus on the claims within it. Insight can be... I'm sure it'll be fine. It's like non-stop training because talent is really useful here. I'm good. I'm glad. I will definitely need some magic for this. Somebody will loop until you call. Okay, sounds good.
Can't let this chance slip by. I need to catch your mistake the second it comes out of her mouth.
Whiskey! Alright, sure. I'm ready to whiskey it up in here. As a kitty, it will kill me. Oh, I can also do David's contract or the upright cup. It's gonna be the whiskey, though. Because we're doing alcohol, right? Alcohol is a toxin, right?
The subject passed away due to respiratory failure. Something, I didn't do the thing. Oh, and I called. You need to call. He would experience lightheadedness, fainting. Yes, the subject was healthy. The respiratory failure must be attributed to a drug overdose. But when a tox screen was run at the hospital, it came back clean.
Is that the one? I'm going to assume it's the one.
It was puzzling, to say the least.
Okay. I'm gonna assume that's it. Okay. Yeah, my blind is at -1, which isn't too good. That means I'm -1 days before birth because I'm a kitty, and the kitties come out blind, apparently, as I've discovered. So, I need to make sure I get older and big and strong.
Something she said now doesn't make any sense. I have evidence that directly contradicts her, so I need to find the right moment to present it. The subject passed away due to respiratory failure. Essentially, he wasn't getting enough oxygen into his blood. He would have experienced lightheadedness, dizziness, and fainting. As the subject was healthy, the respiratory failure must be attributed to a drug overdose. Sure. When the talk screen was run, hold on, nah, I'm good.
I don't know about that one. Choosing to call in a statement, you will need to respond with evidence. Okay. Look over the 3 cards that show up and confirm your card before time runs out. Okay. Oh, we don't have a lot of time. This one. Take it. Ouch. You're just gonna throw it in her head? Like, ow, those things hurt. They can, like, break the skin. You're Morgan. This is a courtroom. You can't commit a crime here. Hi, Leo. Welcome in. Welcome in.
It's impossible for David Asher's talk screen to be clean, and we all know it, since he was on camera drinking alcohol the night that he died.
Why is that so surprising to you? You're the judge. Stay quiet. Let us work. It's Niro. Oh my goodness. I have cat ears. I too. I'm a little baby kitty. Need to get big and strong.
That makes sense.
Well, thanks for the achievement. You've got that wrong. I hope I don't.
And that scared you?
Girl, be silly. Look, there's a time and place for everything.
The witness merely misspoke, Your Honor. And as it is plainly stated on the tox report itself, Dr. Asher did have alcohol in his blood, but not at such a concentration as to be lethal.
Has to be real high for that.
Yeah, my bad. When I said the tox screen was clean, I just meant it didn't have the attending physician. It didn't tell the attending physicians anything they didn't already know. Overall, a little more nitpicky than I like to be, but at least I was able to balance the momentum more or less.
Are you alright there in the back, Mrs. Judge? You give me that vibe like you don't know what you're here for. It wouldn't surprise me if you come out at any moment saying,
"Wow, I really hope the defense wins. I don't want to be going to jail or anything."
You know, pretending that it's your own trial.
Shall we continue, Dr. Seto? If the tox screens were negative for pharmaceutical and drugs, what caused Dr. Asher's respiratory failure? And during my autopsy, I analyzed his blood and was able to isolate a foreign compound.
Cat ears. Larping as a judge. Leave the wiki page. No! The wiki page! Wait, really? Hold on. I must confirm with my own eyes. Hit that. The wiki page. The wiki. They did delete it. Hey. Probably due to lack of notability, no offense. No, that's fine, untaken. Let me see here. How are the rules listed? It's only 500 subscribers is notable. That's it. Okay, so I'm really not that far away from their definition of notability. That's honestly kind of surprising, really. Wow. Really? Like, I would have expected a bit higher up. 500 subscribers on the new platform? Yeah. It's not that bad at all. Like, I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or not. Like, am I that good? Or are they just that lax? Oh, well. We have cat ears now. Surely that helps. And 74 more people to subscribe. Alright. I might have to bust out my secret techniques. I have some that have been in the back of my mind that's like, oh, I could do that. But then it's like, that'd be kind of, you know, what's the word? Scummy might be it. Might be a right way to describe it. You know, but not my favorite ways, but I'll figure it out. If I need more subbies, I can get more subbies. Anyway, you want cat ears? So there was a lethal dose of a drug inside his body. It just happened to be a drug that the hospital had never encountered before. It wasn't the one that gives you cat ears. Okay. Good.
That's correct.
I'm glad we've established that. Here, Sarah, you can take him.
But I still like my barriers better.
Well, too bad.
I think we're all gonna get tired pretty fast if we don't at least pick a placeholder name for the substance, Your Honor.
And the people don't object, Your Honor. Oh, no.
In that case, I'll put all my creativity heuristics to work coming up with an original scientific fitting name for this substance. A name like Omega 3.
Your Honor, I think that's taken by about 28 different things. Can you try again? I like the idea that Sarah's like,
Wow. Omega 3 is a really cool name. I kind of like that, but nobody else is kind of happy, so I'm gonna pretend I'm not happy. That name is already taken. Fine, call it Delta or whatever.
Sarah, we'll go with that. Just goes with the most generic name. Immediately comes up with just the best thing they possibly could.
Delta, used in science to denote an unknown variable. Not bad.
It's the best thing ever. Okay, sure, go ahead.
Delta has other meanings when it comes to drugs, but yeah, our Delta matches no known public pharmacology or toxicology records. That being said, chemically, it does have all the hallmarks of being a general depressant. I know that feeling.
You're a robot. How do you... You know, I can cheer everything up. Don't worry. Everything's better with some cat ears.
I don't know that feeling anymore. Yeah. So it stands to reason that it would exhibit a similar effect on the body when ingested. You say ingested, why? I eliminated all other possibilities during my examination of the body. He must have swallowed it, and judging from stomach contents, it must have been a liquid. Thank you, Dr. Seto. Shall I summarize things for the court? Yes, please. I wasn't listening that closely.
Seems that the cat ears have the opposite effect as the bear ears. The bear ears help you to listen. The cat ears make it so you don't hear a thing.
The victim died of respiratory failure.
Yes, carry on.
And his tox screening showed that his blood was clear of anything that could have caused respiratory failure. Except for this unknown substance, the poison we've labeled Delta. That sounds like a textbook suicide. Should we wrap it up here? Not quite yet, Your Honor. This may clearly be a poisoning, but there's at least one detail about this case that doesn't feel like a suicide at all.
What's the thing? Okay, so I need to put on my big boy hat. Hold on, I can get that real quick. I need a big boy hat in order to figure this out. I know I have one around here. Hat. Yeah. It's a big boy hat. Oh my, it really is a big hat. Yeehaw. My goodness. I've been engulfed. The hat has eaten me. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, so what do I actually need to do here again? Okay. Yes, the one thing that this shows that it might not have been a suicide, yes. Accessories do help now. I have a pictures folder with 1,300 images. Every single image I've ever downloaded is there. So, I've got a few. Like, what a random part there. What's good? Hey, how about this tree? I'm hiding. Can you see me? I've got a few.
Didn't seem out of anything corroborated from that. Drink before death, negative for poison. I don't think that would make sense, right? In order to show that it might not be a suicide, right? Chemistry. You wouldn't even notice if I leave. It's hiding me very well. Risky, drink before death, negative for poison. Right. You could say that he, didn't seem mad or anything. Or that it was the negative for poison whiskey. Let me see if I can get it. It may clearly be a poison, but there's at least one detail about this case that doesn't feel like a suicide at all, right? We'll go with this one. Jung's testimony. Sure, we'll go with that. The people shouldn't get ahead of themselves. There's nothing textbook about a supposed suicide that had a witness sitting there watching it happen. As you say. Well, now I'm lost. Was this poisoning a suicide or not? Yeehaw! I know all the different hats and accessories are a little hard on people, so I'll just bring it back to the cat, yeah. Meow. And keep it simple. Simplicity is lovely. Write that down. That's a note, by the way. Simplicity is great. Don't make anything needlessly complicated, okay? If that's the case, then perhaps we should give the defense the opportunity to cross-examine, unless they're going to insist on testifying themselves. How kind of you to offer. The ball's in my court now, so how do I counter? Emma's argument basically goes as follows. David ingested the Delta knowingly, and the Delta causes respiratory failure. He died of respiratory failure, thus David committed suicide. Sounds about right. Cause, effect, we just keep going in that line. Here, I didn't even pull up paint, who am I kidding? We need paint real quick. Like, what am I doing? I'm a failure for not even adding paint. And we can do a steel chair and a second steel chair. Or maybe the number line's just saying, Okay. So, essentially, right? Cause goes to effect, which then goes into, it becomes a cause in its own right, going into another effect, and so on. Right? And I only note this because it is useful in writing. And I forget to kind of do this a lot of the time, so yeah. It's not really, it's a way to just do everything chronologically, right? To just keep that in mind and then that in mind, right? A lot of times people will think we need to go to this plot point, from this plot point to that plot point to that plot point, right? But there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen in between those plot points, right? So at that point, that's the kind of time they miss out, right? Sometimes we'll just forget one of these. And then it's just, we just skip and like, okay, I think we missed something, but I digress. Let's talk about blackjack. Woo! Gambling, my favorite. Every piece of information you learn deals you a card. Choosing the questions that are logical and relevant, and only press if you think a line of questioning is worth continuing, or else you'll go bust and lose credit. Oh, I don't want to. Select the press option to see what the follow-up question would be. You can only win blackjack when you reach exactly 21. Don't press farther if you're already there. Okay. And don't ask the wrong questions. Got it.
I can figure that out well enough. I do know how to play blackjack. And I am so pressing right now, my goodness.
With my cross-examination, I need to put a microscope on the weakness part of that argument. And hope that some cracks will appear under pressure.
Line -2. Is that bad? Probably bad. I'm -2 out of the womb. You sure it wasn't just... Are you sure it was respiratory failure? Are you sure Delta is to blame? Well, that's harsh. Those are all not very easy questions, are they? Like, we can already be pretty sure Delta is to blame, right? Because we have seen... Because of the talk screenings, right? What else would it be? It means you lose 2 points of credit if you're wrong. That's not good. So I hope to be right here. I'm a gambling man. I need to gamble responsibly. And correctly. Are you sure it was ingested? Like, there was another person in the room, so we already kind of did that. Are you sure it was respiratory failure?
Yeah.
Well, we'll go on the ingested one, I guess. Because the other ones don't really make much sense, right? So we'll just go with that. Beloved 61 credits. I love you. Please. If anything happens to you, please know that I loved you with all my heart. And I really hate to see you go. Sorry, credits. I really loved you.
Dr. Sato, you said that the subject had to have ingested the Delta orally. But how sure can we actually be about that?
I fell out bulk of it. Watch the Turbo TV show. Okay, sure. I miss cute cat ears. That's what you miss. God, do you understand? Cat ears now.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can go into detail about the cavities that I checked, but...
Go into detail about all the cavities that I checked. "61 chips, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Hit me.
But how sure can we be that the subject ingested the Delta knowingly? Well, we can't be sure of that. Certainly not just from an autopsy. You said it must have been a liquid, yes? Would it have been a large amount?
Depends on the concentration of the delivery solution. It could have been just a drop.
That kind of thing could easily go unnoticed, yes?
It's actually going decently. Call for speculation, Your Honor.
Withdrawn.
Oh man, I wanted to jump on her case. Come on! No wonder you're the one with the cat ears. Those cavities could be the result of poison. Could also not be. I think it's a different type of cavity than the one you're thinking. That's 17. Can I stay? Do you have a zombie hand of curiosity? That would be a form of mod, it looks like. So, just what she has. Probably for work or just because she likes it. Who wants to have a centipede tattoo all over your body? Oh, painful that'd be to get, my goodness. Well, I guess they have a better way of doing it in 2086, but you know. Great. Okay. 17. Looks amazing, but just curious, Well, at least you know your type. Sure, respiratory. Sure, Delta is to blame. I'll go with that. It's the second best option.
Dr. Sato, you were only able to even identify the presence of this delta after hours of work. Can you really be sure that this never-before-seen chemical can cause respiratory failure? Well, I have had time to run simulations, and they do give every indication that it would act as a depressant. In just enough of any depressant, respiratory failure would occur.
I'm at 20! I'm at 20! What's the odds I get an ace? Only simulations? Like what? You would want to try that out? Nah. Not my type. I just know what icon when I see one. You sure about that? That it's not your type? Beloved Chips, I love you so dearly. But remember, even at the best odds in blackjack, you can only win like 52% of the time. A great little charm this is. It's Morgan time. Are we sure it was respiratory failure? I feel like I've done this so wrong somehow.
Isn't it possible that he actually died from something other than respiratory failure? Well, no, not really.
Why did it give me a 10? A 10! This is going horribly.
You could argue or speculate about what caused the respiratory failure, but it is, in fact, a fact that he died because his heart and lungs stopped working. Right, thank you for that.
So wait, do I have to do here and press? It's not interest me as romantic partners only friend. Just because girl boy doesn't mean it can't be your type. At least in this argument. But I do see your point. Alright, let's go back here. I guess I have to press here. Hey, have you actually tried it physically? You want to drink it real quick? Like, what line of work is this?
You've ran simulations, so you haven't tested Delta on an actual person.
That's an ace! How?
No, I haven't. And that would be very difficult to do given our extremely limited sample, not to mention highly unethical. Of course. But without such a test, you don't actually know for sure that Delta can cause any of the symptoms you described. Was there a question in that statement, counselor? You don't actually know for sure, do you? No. Not yet, anyway. Seems like that's... Blackjack.
Thanks for the achievement. I'm the best at blackjack. I go bust, say, nuh-uh, take back my card, and then throw another one out.
Thank you for your time, Dr. Sato. We all appreciate it. But it does seem that we're still in the dark about many details regarding Dr. Asher's death, wouldn't you say? Well, poisoning via the compound we're calling Delta is still the most likely explanation.
She is so uninterested.
Like, wrap this up, guys. My show comes on at 4 o'clock today. So, there are other explanations for what happened?
Defense is calling for speculation, Your Honor.
It is not speculation when the medical examiner is attempting to explain the cause of death, Your Honor.
The witness will answer the question. For a normal game of poker myself, poker's fine, but it's a little too harsh for me. Blackjack's simple, everyone knows it.
Well, respiratory failure can be caused by illnesses. If he had undiagnosed pneumonia or some other disease, his respiratory system was weakened.
Undiagnosed pneumonia with his level of healthcare?
It is technically possible. I'll take it! I have no more questions for this witness.
Like the lying part of it. That's... I'm not much of a liar myself. Sarah over here.
You're really going on technicallys, Morgan?
Yes, of course I'm going on technicallys. My job is to figure out whether he technically killed himself or not.
Yeah, but I thought we kinda wanted proof for that.
Not lying is fun. Just think about that one for a bit.
That felt weak, but I can't be picky when I'm stalling for time. Ascending down whenever I can, however I can, is just all about I can manage.
Great. Detective Reyes. Oh no. So sorry. You were one of the leads investigating this crime scene.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you interview the EMTs who first arrived on the scene?
I did. They responded to an emergency signal from the home's security console located in the kitchen.
And what did they find when they first arrived on the scene?
The victim was unconscious on the floor of his parlor. The place where he eats. He was receiving CPR from a witness, the individual who had called them. They were both airlifted to Gatesfield Memorial Hospital, and Dr. Asher was declared dead shortly after arriving there. She's actually handling herself pretty well on the stand.
You go, girl! Here, take this.
What is this? These are cat ears.
I didn't like the bear ears, so why'd you think I'd even want cat ears?
Well, I just thought you might want something to fit in.
Yeah, all the ears are great fashion statements. The judge agrees with me.
Do I have to wear these ears?
Absolutely.
As the judge, I decree it. Yes. I have expected her to roll her eyes during the swearing in. But when you take into consideration her love for heel authority, she might be right at home in the courtroom, the very seat of the state's power over the people.
Get that on here, right? If she's gonna wear cat ears, she's gonna wear them well.
The witness met with the deceased about a half hour before he fell ill from 7:30 to 8 p.m. The two of them talked for some time and shared a drink. Shortly after, Dr. Asher became distracted, lightheaded, and eventually non-responsive.
And during the same time period, drinking the same liquor, this witness exhibited no symptoms themselves?
None. Through a collaborative effort with Noble's Electronics Security Division, we searched the entire building, but we found nothing unusual in the food or drink on the premises, including the bottle that the witness and the deceased drank from.
Wait, how'd the victim die again? It seems to be a likely case of poisoning. How? We don't know. Why? We don't know. With what? Delta. Like the airline, I assume. So what was your ultimate conclusion after investigating the scene?
The whiskey bottle was clean, the witness's drinks was clean. Only person who got sick was Dr. Asher, drinking from the cup he had prepared. So it was our determination that Dr. David Asher committed suicide by poisoning himself.
Was the victim alone at the time of poisoning? Absolutely not. However, we can conclude that it was not the witness he was with.
She's pretty tight-lipped up there. But I think she's slipped up at least once. Police want to claim that they've eliminated every other possibility and covered every angle. But I know that there are a number of blind spots that they're not willing to admit to. Okay, so we can roll out our bone toxic, huh? There was a cup. There was 2 cups and poison. And Asher met with the witness at 7:30 p.m. last night, and by 8 p.m. he was dead. He's the one who prepared their drinks. And there was no opportunity for the witness to ever slip him something. He drank from a cup that he himself poisoned. Seems pretty cut and dry, if you ask me. Curious. Yes, indeed. Just to be sure, we scanned the kitchen, the lab, and the basement. And there was no poison anywhere else. Okay, seems fine. Quickly going up on the cups there, huh? You know what type of poison? Not a clue. Deadly, I guess. She slipped up there and made a claim she can't actually support. All I need to do is point it out, and then I'll watch her self-destruct, which should be fun. Just have to put in a little thought here. So we got 2 cups, right? The standing cup, which the... The witness did drink from the cup, yes? The cup that was empty, right? If I remember correctly. Let me actually confirm while I'm still here. David's cup, which we obviously see. Which the witness was drunk. Toxicology test approved. Oh! Well, that's even better. I knew. Welcome in, welcome in. Why do you have ears? Why not? Like, I gotta hear somehow. Fact doctor was able to dissipate the body quickly. It seems so. We don't know what type of poison or anything else. Drink this cup. You can do no traces of foreign elements. So, yeah. So we can go with the what was I saying? The thingy. We can go here. Toxicology test approved. Inconclusive. Is it just a PNG? So I can move it. That's it. It's just a, you know, just a thing. There's another one for Lieutenant Ray is when we get there. We cover ice cubes and at the time of the poisoning. This isn't Danganronpa. We're not talking about ice cube poisoning here. It's goofy, thanks. They make me hear worse. Asher met with the witness, yada yada. He's the one who prepared their drinks, and there was no opportunity for the witness to ever slip him something. He drank from a cup that he himself poisoned. Actually, no, hold on. Yeah, no. No. Ow. Gorilla's Demon Days severe today. Oh, good for you. I'm glad that you're happy about it. You can't make that claim. Not when the evidence record clearly shows that tests of Dr. Asher's cup were inconclusive. The police can't claim he drank from a poisoned cup without first proving that his cup was in fact poisoned.
You're talking a lot of sense, lady.
Is it resolved? Do you have a response, D.A. Rockford? And testing on the deceased cup has been inconclusive so far, Your Honor. I don't dispute that. And though I'd be surprised if the defense has any idea how else the poison could have possibly been delivered to Dr. Asher alone. Ice cubes could have had the poison. This isn't Danganronpa. We're not doing poisoned ice. At least not here. Was there even anything about ice cubes here? Nope. Nope. No ice. And that means for you, no dice. Inside of the cup could have been. Yeah, you'd have to know it. And that'd be a no. And also, it gets switched around. And like, yeah. Hi, Umbreon Lover. Welcome in. Welcome in. Here's interesting. Yeah. You know, it's hard to bear with bear ears for too long, so I'm trying a bit different, you know?
eat anything when they were drinking. No.
No, I'd be surprised if the defense has any idea how else the poison could have possibly been delivered to Dr. Asher alone.
Not at this point. But that's the funny thing about the burden of proof.
Can I go home now?
No, Sarah, you can't go home yet. It's only get stronger. I know. They're meowsing. It's so bad. It's not on the defense.
As we are all aware.
Right, we knew that. I definitely knew that. Hey, by the way, you guys know how to play Splatoon? I'm looking for partners to play with.
Now, the people are done bemoaning that pesky innocent until proven guilty issue. Perhaps I could begin my cross-examination. Slow-acting poison, no. Could say it was a great fun. Fantastic. Bravo, bravo.
Fire away, baby. Fire away.
Baby. I'm a baby kitty. Reyes' testimony is meant to show that David's the only one who could have poisoned himself, and she'll be on guard and hard set against helping me. But if I... Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I entirely forgot. Detective Reyes is supposed to have cat ears. It's required by the court.
Can you take these off me?
Absolutely not. If I keep her focus on eliminating other possibilities, I can get her to make my point for me before she even realizes what's happened. I'll reread that so I understand. Testimony is meant to show that David's the only one in poison. She'll be on guard and hard set against helping me focus, eliminate opportunities. Okay. So I'll need to hit a blackjack somehow. Else in building. Ever seen poisoning himself? Could have been poisoned off camera. I mean, these are all fine ones there. My blind's at -5. Chips, I'm so sorry, okay? I'm so sorry. This is great, Charm. Yeah. Just looking at those. What in the world are some of those? Anyway, let's see. Could have been poisoned off camera. Detective, isn't it possible that Dr. David Asher was poisoned off camera? Possible? I don't know how else it would have been done. But that just goes to show it had to have been suicide. The only time he was off camera he was all by himself. Chips, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My wallet. It's in shambles. I don't know what to do anymore. I lost my chips. Anyway, was he seen poisoning himself? It's not possible. This is unbearable to think of. Oh boy. At this rate, we're gonna be making puns all night. Detective, we've been doing a lot of assuming and reasoning in quick succession, so I'll ask this plainly for the court. Is there any photographic evidence showing David Asher adding anything to his drink that night? No. Seems he had already poured for the both of them by the time he returned to the parlor. He had already poured. In that case, the next questions need to be when and what. Poison in the kitchen. I can. Detective Reyes, during the course of your investigation, do you find any samples of Delta in the kitchen or parlor? No. That was a fast answer. Well, it was a pretty easy question. If we had found poison at the scene of the crime, that'd be pretty important, don't you think? What about in his lab, his bedroom, his basement? No. We didn't find any Delta and any other unusual substance in any part of the penthouse. Right. Never found any poison. No poison at all. I could ask about a poison container. like, I think the where we're going with this is that the poison could be made in that 3D printer he had there, which links up some points from earlier. So I guess we don't need to do any paint right now. I'll press it, sure. It's an anime called Night of the Living Cat. I did. I saw a few episodes of it, but I didn't really end up watching it much, no. Zombie apocalypse, No, it's just a cat zombie apocalypse.
At any point in the investigation, was poison found on the body of the deceased? No. Must have been searched, or did he have any capsules or vials, eyedroppers? He didn't even have his wallet on him. Why?
It's curious. Anyway, the only one we haven't done is this one, so I guess I kind of have to.
The only people you saw on camera that night were Dr. Asher and this witness, correct? Yeah. There's no footage in the house of anyone else. Are there any parts of the house that aren't recorded by camera? Sure.
Sweet.
There are a number of rooms in the home's interior that don't have cameras in them. So it's possible that there were other people there that night. Because cameras weren't watching every room. No, that's not possible. The only way up to the house is through the building's elevator or the fire escape stairs, both of which are on camera. And that's still in House's front door, which is also on camera.
Curiosity killed the cat.
No one besides the two of them was there that day.
Yep, curiosity did kill the cat. So I'm gonna stay.
Thank you for enlightening the court about this point, Detective. What point? Well, I think it's strange, don't you, Detective? I mean, how could he possibly have poisoned himself without first procuring some poison?
Person climbed in through the window. No. you did you see that live stream on Netflix a while back where the guy climbed that big building? It'd be like that, but without approval and attack helicopters that shoot you. Kill the neck. K-U-C. I gotta be real careful then. Careful. No, look it up. Look it up. Anyway, poison, you know? Anyway, we have blackjack. Sweet. I didn't know blackjack was this easy. I better, like... I was gonna say I was gonna gamble later. But then I'm like, oh, that's kind of a bad idea, isn't it? Like, oh, gambling, man. Because that's me, gambling man. She's real happy about this.
Yay, you go! Make this exciting. Especially while I'm still waiting for my next game.
What do you mean, procure? Where'd it come from, Detective?
I have to get rid of the cat ears, don't I? Forgot about those. Just hit the jackpot. Nice.
The poison that you're so sure was dissolved in drink? Where'd it come from? It can't have come from thin air, you understand? It had to have come from another container at some point. Whatever was in before, it probably evaporated. All of it? It only took a small droplet to kill.
Your Honor, are you going to ask them to keep it civil? In a minute, sure.
It's not yet.
I'm having too much fun. I'm having too much fun with this. It's great.
This game for you to download with curiosity. The prologue is. The rest of it, like this episode 1, is not free. That's just a classy way to say it. We'll make a fine father someday. Oh boy. Great. Great, I tell you. Great.
There wasn't any pill bottle in his bathroom or syringe in his pocket containing this apparently deadly substance.
Thank you, and where can I download it? Steam. Might also be on itch.io. You can check that.
So how did it get there? What did he keep it in? The police want to claim that Dr. David Asher committed suicide. I guess they've established that his guest never had an opportunity to kill him, but they failed to prove that the victim had the means to kill himself.
Wow, she's actually doing pretty good at this.
Then I guess I'll be the one to move things along. Thank you for the information. You are welcome. Great game, I do say. Or great story, I should say.
The Delta didn't come out of thin air, Counselor.
Well, it couldn't have.
And it didn't come from a syringe either.
Dr. Asher was able to drip the poison right into his cup. Straight from the source. As I said before, apparently.
That's way too specific to be a bluff.
Allow me to submit into evidence Exhibit G. A piece of machinery found in Dr. Asher's laboratory sold under the product name Manufacturer.
This is exactly as I was saying. This text. Now I know that's lorem ipsum, alright? But like... It's the other way around, man. You can't just mirror the text like that. Let me see. There you go. Now you can read lorem ipsum if you want to. As it scrolls past the screen. Here, I can even make it a little bigger for you. Now read. Man. So good. Good work, game. Factor more like nanofactor. Yeah, it's a pretty good thing. It can make all sorts of organics. Used in Android manufacturing, it could do a lot. Poisons obviously can also help with meowticin. So, great thing to bring up here. Can't read it. Try your best.
Oh, I know this one. It's used in delicate scientific work to produce nanomachines, chemical compounds, and polymers.
It's the same machine I saw when Dawes gave me a tour of the production floor.
Very good, Your Honor. 3 points to Gryffindor. It's a valuable tool in any scientific laboratory, and Dr. Asher was well acquainted with its use. As a matter of fact, it has a number of presets coded into it.
That's curious. Sarah, what are you doing?
Even the android can see where this is going.
With just a few taps, he could reproduce any number of specific substances for his research, or any other chemical his heart desired, really.
You think Randock Mechanics would allow their product to be used to produce illicit chemicals?
So they made the poison using a 3D printer? Exactly, huh? That's what they're saying. Is it gonna be in we're a cat. Think poison from a 3D printer. This specific 3D printer. It works in organic compounds instead of plastics, like a normal 3D printer. Or it gets resin. Resin would also be normal. Or pancake batter. You ever seen those pancake 3D printers? It's like crazy. It's great. Did it help make Sarah? It did. Yeah, so we can logically conclude that it did in fact make Sarah. Was they think was used as a liquid. It could be used in who knows how. We don't really know for sure. It probably was a liquid. It can be a liquid out of here. It's fine.
Using the manufacturer to make unlicensed drugs does go against their terms and conditions, so Dr. Asher's warranty is certainly null and void. But they can't hard-code the machines to prevent the production of a drug that hasn't been invented yet.
That's
Dr. David Asher died when his respiratory system failed because of a depressant overdose. For him, it would have been peaceful, like falling asleep. You see, he didn't need to commission a synthetic drug from some street vendor, or order an exotic poison from overseas. He could produce Delta at any time in the comfort of his own home. A quick and painless death, available in under a minute at the touch of a button. Specifically, preset 19.
Oh no. So bad news bears. When you mention something like that, that means that she knows. Say that she's something about delicious pancakes. What did he use to contain the poison? The cup. The solo cup that he drank from.
Yeah. I thought I actually had something for a moment there, but I was playing it was hidden the entire time. It seems like we're done with this witness, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am. But before we move on, perhaps we should take a moment to put together a timeline of events as we know them.
I really hope I don't have to create a comic.
Not for me, of course, just in case someone else might need it.
Simple enough. Go back to playing Persona 5 Royal. It's gonna be after I finish this episode 1. It's just taking longer than I expected it would, which, you know, great time for money. Just taking longer. Was the camera in the room with the machines? No. 'Twas not due to privacy.
We know that Dr. Asher left the parlor and went down to basement at 7:36 p.m. That's where he got the whiskey and the cups he drank from. The camera showed him returning to the parlor to drink with the witness at 7:40 p.m. And of course, we know that he fell ill and passed away shortly thereafter. Any objections so far, counselor?
Great. No, this seems entirely normal. I'm gonna stick with the timeline now, it's fine.
Not at this time, no. The timeline you described is accurate as we know it.
As you say. We in episode 2 stream? There will be. There will be. How many episodes are there total? As of current, there's only 2 with a third one on the way. Should be relatively soon, actually. In a few months. So we figured out a fandom name yet. No. No, I did put a good amount of thought into it. And I got a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, hi Silver, welcome in. So 5 win. Once we're done with this episode. Episode 1 of this game. What else was I gonna say? Yes, if you happen to have thought of any other fandom names, great, please tell me. Nickos. I can call you cats. Curious kittens, you. That's a way. Just have to be very careful about it, you know. The force balance is Persona 5, so okay. Okay, good. Receive a fandom name when we reach 500 subs. We receive it whenever we can, yeah. So help me prepare. Okay. Yeah, whenever we have something good, or at least a good few options I can pull, then we can get that fandom name down.
On this latest piece of evidence, we now know that Asher could have easily dispensed the poison directly into his cup by placing it inside the nanofacture, activating the preset, and simply waiting 2 minutes. Easily accomplished during the 4 minutes he spent off camera from 7:36 to 7:40. Wouldn't you say? Oh, a complete timeline of events! He had the means. He had the only opportunity. It seems like we're about ready to wrap up here, no?
My precious chips! I have chips. You were tasty, but I finished the whole bag!
Where are we on that loading bar of yours, Sarah? I had a feeling you'd say that.
This isn't going good at all. I find it funny. All I've done is written, I haven't even bothered writing that. Actually, sure. I can write this. for preset 19. And that can go back, needs to go back twice, actually. Sure, we'll go with that. Ever see him going the direction of the room with the dip machine? Yes. Yes, it did. Mostly because they're in the same way, right? So as far as I'm aware, the room's kind of presented like this, right? You have the main room, kitchen, kitchen here. Here's the parlor, this is where he died. And then everything else is there, you know, lab, here, maybe there's some stairs downwards. I don't know the exact layout. But we only get to see here. So anything like this is off camera. Yes. So good right now. They do.
Are we done here?
This argument is foolproof. No, come on. We can't just be like, yep, case closed. Lose 8 of my chips. My goodness, all my chips.
Feels like we're missing at least one biggie here, folks. Namely motive. Alright, I knew that. I wasn't getting excited to finish early or anything. My show's already 3 past. I've missed the opening. And this is the preliminary hearing, counselor. Our focus should be on the evidence, so... Just feels like an awful waste of taxpayer dollars to get us all down here for debate and not get to the truth of the matter, you know?
So, I was hoping we didn't have to go through this next part. My lovely chippies. They're all going down the drain. This is practically me as a coughing baby, and this girl as the hydrogen bomb.
What are you talking about?
Your Honor, if it pleases the court.
Oh, new evidence? Gimme.
This is a recording of a phone conversation dated 6:30 p.m. last night between a deceased man and a man he was in a relationship with. Woo, we have info about this. Sweet. Well, let's go. A man named Isaac Porter.
Porter and David's breakup call. Everyone wants to present it here. Now, then the content must be relevant, Your Honor.
Yeah, that, what bearing does this recording have on the case at hand? It establishes that what emotional state the deceased was in the day he died. She's annoying us, but she's a smart cookie. Maybe she's had one too many cookies.
Cool, begin playback.
Great.
Hello? Always so soft-spoken. Isaac, you there?
Yeah. I'm here.
What's wrong?
Don't know. Guess I wasn't expecting you to pick up.
Why not? Did you mean to call me?
Yeah, I did. You're gonna ask me how I've been?
Yeah, how have you been?
Christ, David.
What's the matter? Whatever it is, whatever I did, I'm sorry.
Whatever you did. That's alright, man. I'm sure you are sorry. I just don't want any more apologies from you.
I'm sorry. Okay.
And I don't think I want anything from you anymore, David.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have done this. This was unnecessary. My bad, man, for not taking the hints. With you, it's always better left unsaid, right? More efficient that way, so you can keep working.
Isaac, if I've been distant with you, or...
Nah, you haven't been distant with me, or cold with me, or anything with me for a while now.
Isaac...
Just forget it, man. Forget I called. Forget it all, yeah.
Let's just forget you were ever anything but strangers. That's all we are now, anyway. Isaac, recently, I've been distracted, I know. Yeah, don't worry about it. Really, we're good. Oh, okay. So do you need anything, or should I...
Well, what a great call that was. Great. So the Emma on the screen TV show. Oh my goodness. Every Emma, man. Anyway, what were we do? Oh, yeah. How does that relate here? Nothing we didn't already know. Which is curious. But because we didn't know that, it makes that interview we had with the man very relevant. With Mr. Isaac Porter.
Where did you even get this?
All of Dr. Asher's incoming and outgoing phone calls were recorded by the building's penumbra system, and the recording continued for several seconds after each call was ended for quality assurance.
Remind me to check the terms and conditions on my next phone bill.
Shall we hear the rest?
Oh boy, we're going back to it.
Gotta be the last time. Last time I let someone... Last time.
Father.
Might just be a column, but it makes for pretty hard evidence at this point in the discussion. Emma's got her means, opportunity, and motive all lined up. So why is she looking at me like that?
That was depressing. Can we finish up with anything else that horrible?
Has never been apologetic in victory. So does that mean this is just pity?
Sorry, I do the same every time. Every time does the thing, I gotta write it down. My goodness. I pity this time, though. Ugh. Every single time. I don't think I'll be able to hear what they're putting down. Practically be knocking it off the table. But, we'll see where that goes.
In less than 2 hours before Dr. Asher died, Isaac Porter entered their relationship over the phone.
It's gotta be the worst way to do it.
The court can make a reasonable assumption about what kind of mental state Dr. Asher was in last night.
That was a bad move, Miss Rockford.
Then, if the people had nothing further to add...
I've been feeling off my game all day. Caught between corporate inbreeders and ant-brain protesters but pitying me here and now. That's all it takes to get my blood properly boiling.
It's about time for
me to call my first witness now.
You want to keep going after that?
Huh?
At night, you're actually kind of cool. What are you doing, counselor?
Just calling the ultimate silver bullet, rock solid slam dunk witness a girl can ask for.
Guys ever go on a convenience store date, you and Mr. London? Why is she here, by the way?
Is here good? Does it matter where I put my hands?
Miss Starling, thank you for coming here today.
Of course, whatever I can do.
What is your relationship to the deceased?
I was his executive assistant at No Electronics. I would arrange his meetings, coordinate communications between him and other departments, that sort of thing. Ultimate silver bullet.
Miss Starling's the only play I have right now, the only stalling tool I have left. For now, I should just focus on getting as much information from her as possible. Whether or not it's useful, it'll at least buy me some time. When Jess was being sworn in, Sarah mentioned that the hard drive is about 60% decrypted.
Yay! That's really good for us! 60%! Woo! Meanwhile, my hard drive is over 60% filled. Woo!
Considering the rate Sarah's gone at so far, there's maybe another hour left. I might be able to stall that long, if I talk real slow. I'd like to ask you a few questions about Dr. Asher. Please answer them to the best of your ability.
Right.
Dr. Asher was a well-known public figure, but was he well-regarded professionally?
Of course. Dr. Asher's work set the bar for the entire automated dependent world. Steve's talking about me.
Yes, we know that, Sarah. Stay focused, Spearmint. You say you coordinated his communications.
No.
He's so sad. Aw, he's so cute. Here, give you the catties.
We don't want to hear any more of this, Adnai.
Cute.
Were there ever threats? Did people ever express an intent to harm him?
Objection calls for speculation.
Intent?
I'm feeling like that's gonna be sustained.
Did anyone ever threaten him?
There were times when he was the focus of negative attention.
How so?
Dr. Asher was a favorite subject of many conspiracy theorists. With all his contributions to the field, it was easy for them to make claims about his influence. They'd say that his work was plagiarized, or that he was hiding illegal subcommands in the technology he had developed.
And people would contact him about these conspiracy theories?
These theories are wrong. I had nothing in my code about that, hadn't I?
Yeah, I know that.
Relevance.
Whether or not people wanted to kill him?
Well...
Withdrawn.
He's trying her hardest, I tell ya. But maybe not hard enough.
Miss Starling.
People would attempt to contact him, yes, but their messages were always too vague for the police to take action on. They would say that he belonged in jail, or that he couldn't avoid the truth, or that someone should do something to shut him up. That sounds like me at the office.
Did they ever talk about hurting him?
Yes. But, I always turn those messages straight over to the police. Yeah, I'm seeing that on record. Yeesh, who writes this stuff? All those cases have long since been resolved, Your Honor. And none of the parties involved have had contact with Dr. Asher in years. The police take harassment very seriously. Huh? Hadn't I? Why do you look like you're crazy? Something you want to add, counselor?
Just clearing my throat. May I continue?
Alright, be that way, why don't you? Be that way.
You worked with Dr. Asher for many years. Did you have a relationship outside of work? Did you ever talk about anything besides professional concerns?
Sure, we've gone out to dinner, met on the weekends. I think he liked to pick my brain since he needed relationship advice a lot.
My goodness, you've given us a great stall point, haven't you?
Even if you didn't realize that what he was asking... That was what he was asking for. Yeah, that thing.
I'd like to think that he knew he could talk to me, but...
Did he ever talk to you, or... to your knowledge, anyone else about hurting himself?
Oh, God, no, never.
And do you know of any history he might have had with any mental illnesses, depression, anxiety?
No.
So when you heard the people argue that Dr. Asher had done this to himself,
I was shocked. I couldn't believe it.
You're saying that you can't believe?
Objection.
Oh no, music change. Great. Don't uphold it.
On what grounds?
Asked and answered, stalling. And also,
The people have documents that would be of interest to the court in this matter.
Oh no.
As you see, and what matters specifically are you referring to?
The deceased mental health history.
Don't like that she's called out stalling too. Hey, Sarah, can you walk like faster?
Emma wouldn't be speaking up if she didn't have something real. So what is this about?
We have private correspondences that describe.
If they're private, then they should not have been obtained by the people without his permission.
He can't give permission if he's already dead, and we're well within our rights to obtain evidence as it pertains to his crime. Convincing!
It's not even... That's not a thing! You can't say convincing! Sorry. I forgot this is the worst judge known to man.
I honestly didn't expect her to stop her from admitting her evidence to the record, but I was hoping to at least slow her. Where are you on that footage?
77%. If you add an extra 7, that's the jackpot. Basically.
I need to buy whatever time I can, however I can. Your napkin's running out, the clock is a punching bag. And I might need a jackpot right about now. My chippies are dying! No, I need more chips!
I have here messages between Dr. Asher and a psychiatrist he's meeting with speaking to the last year, along with paperwork detailing how this treatment was covered under his platinum plan.
Platinum?
Platinum plan? Curious. I haven't heard mention of a platinum plan anywhere. Just an executive level plan.
I didn't intend to air out all of Dr. Ash's secrets here in the court. Oh, okay, I guess. But I am prepared to read excerpts from messages and transcripts from phone calls, which, when put together, paint a clear picture of the kind of stress David Asher was experiencing and the dark thoughts he was struggling with.
Transcripts of his phone calls?
I'll admit them into evidence, assuming there are no objections.
There's nothing strange yet. Sorry, I'm a little confused about that platinum plan he had there. I don't know where I need to go actually for this. Where? Yeah, this is his plan. That ain't platinum, that's executive. Can you, like, elaborate on that?
I'll gladly object. On the grounds of foundation. Where did you say you got this?
Maybe on the grounds of foundation. It's only this scene. Am I getting ahead of myself? My lovely chippies. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, my lovely chippies.
It was retrieved from his digital records. There's no reason to doubt its authenticity.
Even if I were to point out that David had an executive level 4 plan, not a platinum plan.
Chippies, you are safe for another day. Oh my goodness. Game, you had me on the ropes there, my goodness.
What? Really? Really?
Yes, really, it's all on the record.
This is easily explained.
Yeah, explain away, why don't you?
David had an executive plan that Noble managed for him. And he was also seeing the psychiatrist both in person and over the phone. Your own witness has attested that he dealt with stalkers and was worried for his privacy. So it's easy enough to reason that he had a separate insurance policy he paid for on his own.
A separate insurance policy? That's the way we're going with it.
Even if only to keep one thing out of Noble's grasp.
Sure, easy enough to make that assumption, but it doesn't make it correct. David used a separate insurance to hide his psychiatrist from Noble spying? No, he is smarter than that.
Just as a reminder, I can sew up the ante. And I can give Morgan cat ears. There you go. Cat ears. So, two very important things, you know? But let's take a look here. Let me think this through. And, think back to my timeline that I had before. No, I'm not gonna write another A yet, it's fine. Let me think here. Okay, so let's look over the evidence, right? We're talking executive plan, the psychiatrist starting this money. Yeah. So how would he be more private about that? I'm not confident in any of this, really. And my chippies are somehow still safe. You go, chippies. Didn't seem to add anything. Yeah, And he's smarter than that. David using Separate insurance to hide the psychiatrist from Noble's spying. He was smarter than that. That's it right there. Why would you hide it when you also are not hiding it, you know? It's like hiding a murder, right? And then leaving a sign there that says, hey, it was me. Anyway, I'm helping it. Come on. Maximum ante. Come on. Maximum ante. Throw this to the side. Just go, do it. Come on. Maximum ante. Come on, what do I miss? We're upping the ante and we are saying that the platinum plan was not really that good because he has phone calls.
David may very well have wanted a private psychiatrist, someone who didn't work for Noble, who would have his best interests at heart. But if so, he wouldn't have contacted them over the phone. Not when he knew all his phone calls were being recorded.
I'm so cool. My chippies are so good. Yeah, I never feared for you, chippies. You're so good.
David Asher was well versed in having every aspect of his life overanalyzed by data-hungry parasites. Did you really think you would try to hide mental health problems from them with a second insurance policy?
Apparently, yes, since I'm standing here with evidence that shows exactly that.
Does it, though?
Pardon me? Yeah, like, what exactly are you suggesting, Counselor?
Still not done encrypting?
Well, it's difficult to...
Right. What the... Might as well swing for the fences at this point. I'm not trying to muddle the issue or confuse the court, Your Honor. And I would never make outlandish, unsubstantiated claims just for the sake of causing drama.
Never, ever. I am the type of person who doesn't do that.
I feel like Morgan's been lying to the court this entire time.
What are you? I'm merely concerned that D.A. Rockford has been an unwitting pawn in an act of corporate espionage.
Too confident you could mess up. I could. But gambling isn't any fun if you don't go all in.
Oh, sorry, my game of Splatoon had started. What are you saying?
What? If the markets were to open Monday with people believing that Dr. David Asher, the man who programmed the brain of every noble android, was battling mental health issues for the last several months.
Objection, mischaracterization, foundation, all the rest. There are no corporate spies in this courtroom, Counselor, and there are no boogeymen hiding under the bench.
Says Kaito. Yeah, you know, I wonder where that guy could possibly be right about now. Kaito drawing speedrun. Oh man, he's falling out of the window! God. Free time, man. Be proud of your way of thinking. You go all in until you die. Oh, I'm gonna so win this. Raise the stakes. Set him ablaze, why don't ya?
Oh, thank God. I'm really scared of the boogeyman. David Asher was a once-in-a-generation intellect and extremely valuable human asset to his employers, and his employers' many enemies would do whatever it takes to destroy his credibility now that he can't defend himself.
And he was also your personal... You shouldn't even be here arguing this case in the first place, Counselor. Now that you're trying to call the police as evidence gathering in question. All because you can't admit for the past several months your friend has been seeing a psychiatrist every Monday and you didn't know.
That is...
Sorry, but like, did you still need me up here? I'm scared out of night.
Computer night, what do you miss? We're pleading corporate espionage.
The witness will refrain from interrupting when girls are fighting. Yes, ma'am. With how my luck's been so far, Sarah's progress bar is probably moving backwards right about now, and his patience is wearing thin. This could be my last shot to create any kind of reasonable doubt. I'd be happy to wrap up my questioning if the court will allow. That seems cool with me.
I said it was... Yeah, M is annoying, alright.
And my evidence, Your Honor, will it be entered in the record? I'd like to hear a bit more testimony before deciding. That's fine, Your Honor.
I'm so afraid from interrupting the toxic Yuri. I hate thinking about how that would work. I don't think it would ever. Not when Emma has a gun to her head, you know?
As you were, Counselor.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it's at, you can probably only ask one more question, and to make it count. So what can Starling tell us that no one else could? If she hadn't called me this morning, I wouldn't be standing here. And she only did that because... Miss Starling, we're all gathered here today to try to figure out what happened to Dr. Asher last night. So please, tell us, when exactly did he last...
Bug, why is it... Scary. Reminds me of John's meet and greets. See you, contact you, meet you at HQ. Thinking here. I have nothing. So what I would say, if I didn't have nothing, because you see here, we can first rule out meet you at HQ. That's so vague. I wouldn't say vague. That's so umbrella. No, wait. That's so opposite of umbrella here, right? Meet you at HQ, okay, that could be anywhere else. She mentioned before that she sometimes sees him outside of work, right? Contact you could be anything. With contact, we're looking at a specific time. See you? Good luck with it being Monday, right? But in person, I think is what we need. That's the only thing we could get at with her herself, right? Contact you, you know when that would be? That would be over the phone. We would have already had those records. The blind's at 10. I beg all my chippies at the number of 67 that it will be alright. Come on, come on.
When was the last time that he and you...
Problem, Counselor?
We get one chance here. Can't waste on frivolous questions. I'm just doing a vocal exercise.
My chippies. My chippies, I'm so sorry.
Take all the time you need.
Thanks so much.
What a sweetheart. Unlike me.
Okay.
Duly noted.
My chippies.
Oh no.
Good luck me. I need to make sure these don't go to 47. You're not at 67. I kind of want more chippies, though. You at HQ. Or contact you. Basically a coin flip. So I have here a coin. It makes noise, and it's kind of loud and annoying sometimes. Heads, it goes contact. Tails, meet. It's tails. Funeral music. Oh, it's this one again. Why is it always this one? Why is it this one? And here lies all of the chippies. What is this type of... Every single time, it's always this one. Why are you banging pots and pans? R.I.P. my chippies. R.I.P. every single chippy I have. Chippies. Oh my goodness, stop it. Just stop it already. There's so many. Classic mode defeat. It all sounds quite exciting. It's apparently what they do over in China. Let's see. Classic mode defeat. Sure, I'll oblige you. I'll oblige you. Well, you see, that's like too good at funeral music. I don't hear any pots and pans. Too good. Too good at funeral music. Like maybe this one's better. My goodness. Like the prince is dead for this one. Okay. We have... What other things do we have here? Oh, goodness. I'm done with the funerals. I can't have too many funerals, alright? Dr. David Asher's already dead, okay? You're too depressed, I know, right? Yeah, when did he contact you last?
When was the last time you had contact with Dr. David Asher, Mrs. Starling?
Well, that's pretty easy to figure out. Let me just, yeah, it was last night at 6:57 p.m. We texted back and forth.
There are records of some texts, but they're flagged as work-related. Does the court really think they're relevant, Your Honor?
Relevant? I'm gonna get my funeral music premiered. These funerals are all for the victims of a heartbreak. We don't care about those. Maybe this one? Welcome to the Home Depot, where we have all of your supply needs. We sell lumber here. What? How is that there when I search funeral music? What? Okay. Oh, well, that's happy, I guess. What does that mean for this? Texting isn't relevant? Oh, the texting makes a big difference, I tell you. Because, hold on, I got more sounds here. It'll work. Don't know what to do with this one. Like, good? It's funeral music, I guess. Woo! Not actually, though. Anyway, what are we doing? Oh yeah, the text, duh.
It could very well be the single most important piece of evidence in this whole trial.
What? I just got the chills. Don't know why, though.
Must be a court link. The defense doesn't know what they're talking about.
So bayoneted truth. Like, just set up a playlist called funeral music and have it ready. I could, but isn't it more fun to just play? It all departs into parents.
On the contrary, these texts are vital pieces of evidence that can change the timeline of events as we know them.
One single bug, it's so annoying. Why isn't he here to spy on me? There's one bug. Where did it even go? I think there might be a corporate spy here. Where is it? God, I just saw. Whatever. It's fine. Bugs can't stop the justice!
You know what happened to David Asher last night, generally speaking? The order of events is critical, especially if Emma wants to make claims about David's state of mind.
It's like them place cards from your hand. Into the slots in chronological order left and right. Okay. You can pick a card back up and place it. You can pick a card back up and place it another slot. If you change your mind. Place it another slot. Now, I might not be the best person here. But, isn't it supposed to be place it in another slot? Anyway. Or use return to undo the last card you placed down. All the slots submit your answer. Okay. Let's give a closing argument. It does, but I'm not making a comic book. That takes forever this time. Let's see. Let's see here. So I guess this call, then the text, then the they were there, then the thing.
Yes, that's it. Thanks to Miss Starling, we've now got a much clearer picture of the night's offense.
I could have raised the ante to get more points, but I totally messed up. My chippies are at 61, my goodness. Still high.
You know that Isaac Porter and David Asher broke up at 6:30 p.m. and I was rooting for them so hard.
No, you weren't. You didn't know a thing about them.
You know that David messages assistant Miss Starling at 6:57 p.m. David is on camera with the witness from 7:30 to 8 p.m. and he was declared dead not long after.
Now, people don't object to that timeline of events, but we do question Councilor Morgan's reason for belaboring it.
One last question, Miss Starling.
Yeah?
What was the nature of your conversation with Dr. Asher?
Well, actually, we talked about you.
Huh?
And how he wanted you to have his android. That android there.
Sarah, ears and cat ears, both at the same time? Sure.
Yeah, I think I don't really like these ears though.
The court mandates them though, Sarah.
Fine.
Just put on the other ears. Put the other ears on underneath it.
Alright, sure.
There you go.
Wow. Is that double ears? Ain't that a cutie? Thanks, Judge. I appreciate it. I like my ears.
My goodness, this one bug.
Right.
Putting his affairs in order, I guess.
Does this relate to my bear ears? And my cat ears? With both my bear and cat ears, I can hear at a normal level.
It might appear that way.
It's kind of like, wait, no, that's mine. Okay. Gotta like section these ears properly.
Can you specify what his instructions were exactly? How did he want this done?
Well, he wanted me to bring you to his penthouse and help get you set up as the android's new owner.
Yes, Miss Starling, but when did he want this to happen?
Well, he said it was pretty urgent, so I should do it, first thing Tuesday morning.
Tuesday? First thing Tuesday morning. David Asher didn't like doing anything on Mondays. And he was going to... And was he going to be in attendance?
Well, actually, yes, he said that he would work from home to help us. And no way he intended for us to have that much trouble getting to...
Oh.
Oh!
To summarize, then, half an hour after he had He already had his breakup, and half an hour before his guest arrived, he was planning an appointment that would require his presence with you for next Tuesday. Curious. That's right, he was. Not something you would think to do if you're planning on dying that very night. Yeah, you're right. That's... Your Honor, if David Asher was preparing for the week ahead a mere hour before he passed away, don't you think that people's assumption about his mental state ought to be re-examined? That's... Your logic is sound. Do the people have a rebuttal? If the court will allow a moment. Sounds like an opening to me. We assume that Dr. Asher was not suicidal and therefore did not kill himself. We must then ask ourselves who else had the means, motive, and opportunity to take his life.
I just want to note something. We haven't been writing a lot of stuff down. I'll just do this. We're not revealing any new info, mostly. So anything that we have there is just blatant going back, right? Stuff that we've already revealed. So actually, it should be going the other way. That's for the trial. I can make it that color, sure. So that's why I haven't been touching it too much. It's easier to digest, I'll say.
Until now, we've taken for granted that this idea that Delta must have come from his nanofacture from inside the house. Hadn't I? Not right now. But even if that's true, which it may not be, that doesn't mean that he was the one who used the nanofacture. Hadn't I?
So I feel like this is about to change very drastically. Just a feeling, I could be wrong.
Would you allow me one moment to confer, Your Honor? Sure, why not throw away your momentum? In the middle of something, Sarah. Can allow Rockford to...
I've gained access to the hard drive's files.
And my ears.
What? Seriously?
As I said, progress with this type of encryption is exponential. It can be difficult to estimate.
Right, okay. Do you have the footage from last night?
I have the file.
Have you watched it?
I thought you'd want to know right away.
Suppose it doesn't matter.
Allow me 1 minute to confer. Mukuro the 16th student.
Mukuro Ikasaba, the 16th student. One day called the ultimate despair, lying hidden.
What?
Yeah, that's who done it. Mukuro Ikasaba was lying hidden for Dr. Asher.
Huh? Either this has our silver bullet and we've got a case, or it doesn't, everything falls apart.
That seems quite risky.
It's the least risky path to victory we have. Seeing how it's the only path to victory we have. Oh, come on. Upload it to the core computer.
Yes, Adonai.
And thank you for your patience, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
I'm awake. And I'm getting a pretty hefty chunk of video data for breakfast.
You're submitting security footage and evidence. New security footage.
The police corroborated the witness's testimony using the house cameras. Security cameras installed by Noble as part of the number system that showed the parlor, the kitchen, but not the basement.
Huh?
And during the course of my investigation, I uncovered a hidden security circuit buried in the deceased's own home system.
You what?
And the people say that Delta must have been in our Asher's cup, because there's no other way for him to digest it. But we never saw him or anyone else put anything in his cup on camera.
Because he must have poisoned his own drink off camera.
Exactly.
What?
That's the only possible explanation, that he added the Delta to his drink off camera. He placed his cup inside the nanofacture, activated it, waited 2 minutes, and then walked upstairs to his death. But I'm about to present the court footage retrieved from his basement. Footage that will show you that by the time we retrieved the cups from the basement, it was already past 7:38.
I feel like this is a bluff. Are we bluffing?
Meaning that he didn't have the opportunity to poison himself.
One clip of footage will prove all that?
It doesn't. I'm completely dead. But it's not like I lose a preliminary hearing extra hard. Anything other than a royal flush here means I'm bust. So, better to be the Joker who dances.
Data has been entered into the court record.
Sarah, show us when Dr. Asher entered the basement.
Yes, I'll search for it now. Here.
On screen. That's the bar, and the timestamp is 7:36. There. David's grabbing the bottle of Rose River and leaving.
Yeah, it's 7:37. Just under the wire, as it were.
Is that it? I came this far just to... Wait. Did he have the cups with him?
Is there sound?
Not at all. Keep going. If he had to go back to get the cups...
Counselor.
Let's start moving, shall we? Keep in mind, first, the audio, right? That tells us something's happening right now. Here we have what we're seeing right now. The arrow I just placed relates to this little Sarah, the cutie girl. Why is she here? How is she here, more accurately? And I'm going to assume that relates to a tenant break.
Oh, this is as far as it goes. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get the mastermind. I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry.
What's that android doing on camera? It's at the bar.
She killed mine. Who just do it? Just gonna assume it was a hack? No way, my little cutie's getting hacked. With the cups?
The android gave him the cups.
Great. Oh no.
That machine never stepped on camera upstairs, not once. We don't know its whereabouts the day of the death. It could have poisoned the cup whenever it wanted.
What is this? I don't understand.
No!
Your Honor, I have the courtroom cleared.
Understood. Please, someone. I don't know what's going on.
Sarah, you need to shut down.
Please, tell me what I'm looking at.
I don't remember any of that. Do we have collars available? Sarah, shut down immediately.
Please tell me what
That's in order.
I...
We can, get to drawing another arrow, why don't we? Great! We're getting everything related to this one girl. You know, we can even draw a arrow going here and a question mark. Is she asleep? Who knows? All of those tenants there. And this one little weird girl, wasn't it? I'm sure there's more there that I'm missing.
Is it off?
Yeah, it's off. I've seen this before. It won't do anything until I reactivate it.
We don't know that. We don't know anything about this thing anymore.
That's... Your Honor.
In light of the most recent event, the people would like to withdraw their charges against Dr. Asher in this preliminary hearing. It has been made abundantly clear that David Asher did not commit suicide.
Yay! We win! We've won. But at what cost? You know, I said before that I'm all ears. I don't think I want to anymore. So I agree she was hacked? No. We all agree that, She might be lying a bit, though. Maybe. Actually, I can totally get rid of this. Who am I kidding? Not with, you know, her being asleep, but just because it's her memory, her activation, what she's doing, how she poisoned. How does she even know that's poison, right? Ugh.
Very well, the charges are withdrawn and the defendant is free to go.
Has to be that this is rare disease. Could be. There is a non-zero chance it is.
Well, as free as he can be in the afterlife. This case is dismissed. Congratulations, Counselor Morgan.
Yay. Chalk up another victory for Morgan Esquire. And all I have to do is deal with this storm of the decade.
Hey! Congrats us! We figured out what was going on. Oh no.
Well, I just to prove that David didn't kill himself. In the process, I proved that his android did. Prove that the android that's been walking around with me all day is capable of murder.
Evangeline Morgan Esquire. What a great name she has, isn't it?
Killer Robot. A true unbound AI with military-grade specs and at least one death to its name already. So much for avoiding the public eye.
Well, thank you for coming here on such short notice, Judge Barrows.
Oh, we have an actual judge here. My goodness.
Ha! As if I'm doing you some kind of favor. I didn't realize I had any choice in the matter. This isn't some kind of bad joke, is it, Miss Rockford? I'm afraid not, Your Honor. You know, I like the adjutants. I always have. They deal with the criminal trials so that bookish, quiet, contemplative people like me can spend all day typing up arguments for obscure legal treaties. That's what I like to do. I don't like coming down here and dealing with all this heavy-handedness.
Won't someone toiling away under the police state think of the poor bureaucrats?
And I certainly don't like making rulings on anything as spicy as AI.
She can barely bring herself to say it.
And you, Counselor Morgan, you're the one who it's registered to.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So, what did it do exactly? Torture animals, shut down a hospital, crash a coin market?
Jeez. Is it better that we keep her in the dark?
We have it on camera poisoning a man, killing its creator.
You mean Dr. Asher? That is... We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long. All we can do is try to wrap it up quickly. That's my case. Adjutant, do you have the case number?
Case ID is 241277A. And docket number YT984318282.
Does that mean anything?
Oh, thank you. Can you repeat that?
YT984388282.
I think I lost you after the first date.
I have it copied here.
And what are the security procedures for an incident of this nature?
Data quarantine is to be established around any networks the subject was exposed to for more than 66 seconds. All offending hardware is to be destroyed immediately through incineration at a minimum temperature of 3,422 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes.
Man, I love Sarah. I think Sarah's dead now, though.
Sorry, Spearmint. There's nothing to be done, no debate to be had. This isn't even a decision. Sorry, Sarah. Not Spearmint. David gave you that name. Should at least make the effort to use it.
That sounds very hot. Do we have furnaces that get that hot?
Of course, there are a number of industrial furnaces within city limits that I could recommend. Sorry? Why should I be sorry anyway? I fulfilled the request. Favor repaid. I don't owe Sarah anything. Especially not if it killed my friend.
Right, Morgan?
I'm sorry.
I was just saying how grateful I am that we have the procedures for this kind of thing all laid out already.
Yep, keeps things nice and simple.
I'm looking for, like, any measure of thing that I could just smack in here. Like, oh, this is all happening from this. No, why is this so cut and dry right now? I don't like that. Where's the next twist?
It can feel somewhat severe, going through these steps so quickly, but
nothing, Your Honor.
I might be parsing something in my head. Give me some time, I might have it. Well, I'm gonna need more info, though.
Artificial intelligence is perhaps the greatest threat to human civilization, the sanctity of life there's ever been. Any piece of software, big or small, no matter the vessel, if it can violate the tenets it was programmed with, it has the potential to cripple our nation in a matter of moments.
Yes, couldn't have said it better myself. Straight from the textbook, almost.
Well, I mean it. Monsters like that don't belong in this world. They should never have been born in the first place. Destroying them is a kindness. And if anyone's to blame, it's...
No one's blaming you, Counselor. You couldn't have known you were in possession of an AI.
I'm talking too much. Probably just tired. It's been a long day, and
Sorry, We're making this one pink. Pink circle. Backwards cigar. Carrying on.
I've had a lot of thoughts. Sorry, Sarah. Whatever you are.
Cute little ears. Sarah gets the ears even in death.
You were just born wrong. Not your fault, necessarily. If it were up to me, you'd get points for trying. Trying to be something more. Trying to be something at all. Even her ears go. Or anything other than what you are. It was stupid, of course, and futile. And pointless, spending hours in front of a TV or lying in bed staring up at your phone. Watching stupid movies and trying to paper-mache an ill-fitted mask of humanity out of the scraps you could tear out of magazines. Practicing expressions and memorizing lines, and trying to get something to take root and grow despite knowing it had nothing to feed on. Stupid.
Do I have to? Well, in jail they allot you one call, right?
Morgan?
What was that, Counselor? I said objection.
And what are you objecting to?
We're just gonna write another thing. How do I write this down? We're gonna go here to this one with the cigarette lighter. Because this is where episode 1 ends. We got a little more to go. Just a bit.
What are you doing, Morgan?
I'm a defense attorney, and this is what I do.
I understand you've been through a lot these past few hours, Counselor, but there's nothing to defend.
On the contrary, Your Honor, I have to defend myself.
Pardon?
You say that this android, Sarah, is an AI because it broke its tenets.
Obviously.
And you believe it broke its tenets because of this newly discovered footage. And that appears to show it committing murder via poison.
Well, true. And no laws broken on your part.
Here it comes. Never thought I'd be incriminating myself in the courtroom just to make a point. Don't you dare try to entrap me on this.
You know what? Self-infliction. Self-inflict the ante. Maximum ante. Go on. Okay, now what am I doing again? Guilty of any crime. Like a glass bottle during a trial. What? Okay. What are we doing? Handgun. Why is this here? What the? Why is there the handgun? Excuse me, what? That's weird. Damon's cup. Where's papers, the contract. I upped the ante all the way, Muggin. How do I incriminate myself? I'm guilty, I tell you. Okay, let's start ruling things out. David's cup. No. No. This leads to nothing. Alright. The handgun? We purchased that legally, though, so I don't see the issue with that, right? Nor do I see how it really fits in here. Whose ownership is Sarah? Sarah's papers found inside the panic room and the contract. Those are the two things that stick out here, right? How? Going through the phone screen, my goodness. Lost the cat ears? Yeah. Yeah, I did. I don't want to hear about Sarah's death. Let me think here. Let's take a look at the papers. I'm gonna, effective immediate, signed a date over 2 weeks ago. That's it. Ta-da! I was technically the owner 2 weeks ago. The murder occurred last night. Let's go. I committed illegal activity technically. Yeah. It doesn't die, it gets destroyed. No, goodness, don't you dare. Green-haired one? She's been sentenced, but hasn't died yet. And I'm gonna make a note of that.
It's pretty simple, actually. If the state is making the claim that Sarah's an AI, they're accusing me of committing a felony. Because I'm the legal owner of that android.
So good. 70 tips!
What are you doing? If the state wants to charge me with owning an AI, I will not take that lying down. I know my rights.
The poisoning, of the poisoning.
Counselor, your argument is
self-defeating. Listen to yourself, Counselor. You claim that Sarah is just an android, a product that will be obsolete within a year. But you've only known it for a few hours. You've only owned it for a matter of minutes. And yet you are here risking a felony charge to save it from being demolished. Because you're wrong. And I know you wouldn't care.
Not unless this android was something special. How was it deactivated recently? By us. David's been doing who knows what for the past year or so with it. We got the, according to, where's the footage? Somewhere in here. Who knows? According to the footage, Sarah was the one with the cups, giving them to David. The cups that we have determined are the likely cause of what was actually poisoned.
Look at us. Me arguing that I'm guilty and him arguing that I'm a softie. It'd be funny if it wasn't so fine. You think there's no reason I'd want to save this android from destruction other than feelings of personal attachment?
Yeah, max the ante out. Who am I kidding? Anyway, let's take a look at this rest of the stuff. Harassment, the text, evaluation. Oh, it's so the evaluation. You fool! I want money!
I can think of at least one reason why I don't want you to turn Sarah into slag. One very convincing reason. Or a very convincing number.
Oh, that's canon work experience. Exactly! I'm so going for it. Do you gamble IRL? I have made bets. I don't do it often. It's like $1 normally. So technically, yes. Though it's usually just for fun. Just to claim that I do have skin in the game, but not to actually gain or lose anything.
What are you?
What is that?
The number of Sarah's estimated financial value on the collector's market.
You've gotta be.
I got it from an insurance evaluation algorithm. They're designed to lowball you.
That does seem like a reasonable incentive for you to want to keep your android intact.
Objection, Your Honor. Money.
I agree!
It's a free country, Your Honor. I have a right to defend myself. And we have a free market, so I have a responsibility to defend my financial interests.
Your Honor, a trial like this would be... I'm not going to let you turn this courtroom into a circus, Morgan. You can't spend the next half-decade bringing an expert after expert to testify on the philosophical distinctions between AIs and ads, spiraling into appeal after appeal, all the while the media... This machine appears to have willfully killed a man. The public needs answers now.
Of course, Your Honor. I have neither desire nor the resources to get into a drawn-out battle with the state over what constitutes an illegal machine intellect.
Check an updated autopsy report. Yeah, it shows that David was actually killed with a gun, like the one I have. You know, the one I just bought after he died. But you know, that one. So,
the state says Maya enjoyed my property, killed a man in violation of its tenets, so they wanted to take my property and destroy it. I'll prove that my machine didn't harm anyone, so the state will have no reason to suspect it's an AI, and I'll get to keep my property. Unlawful seizure thwarted.
like 3 hours ago. So good. Don't be cute. I feel a stomach ulcer coming on. Fine. You'll have your day in court, but it'll be one day tomorrow. Prove that this machine didn't kill Dr. Asher. No, prove that it couldn't have killed him. Anything less than absolute proof, and I'll have the thing obliterated. And you'll also be looking at a very real sentencing for the public unrest you'll have enabled.
Yes, Your Honor.
Still more, my goodness. There's so much.
D.A. Rockford, what I'm asking of you is just as heavy.
Wait, that's the wrong one.
Find the truth by the end of tomorrow. We can't settle for anything else. Win or lose, there can be no doubts about the outcome of this case. Yes, Your Honor. And now I need to go lie down. Can I come? You can power down.
It's great. Right, so now what do we do?
Morgan, huh? I misjudged you.
At what point?
Whenever I wrote you off as a small-time defense attorney just trying to tread water.
That is so sweet of you to say, Emma.
There's lawyers. There's lawyers to you. You've got backbone. And teeth, even.
Keep confusing your voice. What am I talking about? What trial happened this episode or episode 2? I have no idea. That's a great question. Does anybody know? This episode? Oh, goodness. I'm so dead. Episode 2 is entirely different case. And here I thought this would be the last one. Seems we're going on another... Oh, my goodness. This is so much longer than I thought it would be.
You're gonna make me blush.
People talk about your kind like you're boxing against the state, fighting the man. But most defense attorneys wouldn't know a cyberpunk if they walked up on them on the street and shot him. Meanwhile, you've just signed up to do 15 rounds challenging the state's authority.
What?
Why?
I'm not sure exactly.
For David?
Yeah, probably. Probably just me being sentimental.
Curious.
If I had to pick a more lofty reason, well, I think it's all the moralizing.
Huh.
People can be evil. They can choose to do evil things for evil reasons. And if you want to execute them for that, you'll hear no complaint from me. But animals can't be evil. Information can't be evil. Ideas can't be evil. Guess I'm not convinced AI can be evil either. Whatever else I get up to, I don't want to stand with the book burners of this world.
You're more high-minded than I realized.
That's a...
You're sure to be in the right line of... You're sure you're in the right line of work.
I can't see myself doing anything else.
Good luck, Morgan. There are book burners on all sides these days.
This very annoying killer. Seems like it was right to have Danganronpa. Like, your Danganronpa logic was ice cubes, wasn't it? Danganronpa level. It is not Danganronpa level murder nonsense. I would like to confirm that everything has been pretty cut and dry. Right? We go to paint here. And, you know, skip past our Kaito going down the window, right? We can have this room, and then there's the lab here, and then, you know, the basement here. Sure, we'll go with that. Right? Just forget about here, right? So, David goes over here, grabs this, right? Sarah's probably already up and about. We don't know what she's doing, but it probably is. So she's you know, David's over here like, hey, Sarah, give me the cups. And Sarah's like, sure thing. You know, gets the cups, goes over here, does this, right? All the while, David's over here, and they're doing who knows what, right? He's over here. He would still be over here. And then Sarah comes back down, and she's like, hey, David, I got the cups. And he's like, okay, cool, thanks. Give them to me. And then he goes, that's the case. That's it. The rabbit pulled out a hand, suddenly the case changes. Check David's body. You can see the sickle in the back of his head. Loose floorboard to activate the seesaw effect. I'm glad this case doesn't have a seesaw effect.
I talked a big game just now. I need an even deeper hole than when I was trying to prove David's innocence. Doubt won't be enough this time. Need to find the actual culprit no matter what.
Great. I can't be a prosecution attorney. In Precinct 254, the homicide office. Why are we here? My goodness. I'm a little worried. We're doing on time. You know what? I start early. We can go for a while. If you'll allow me in a few minutes, I would like to take a quick intermission. I forgot that was my BRB screen. I need to get like some professionally made screens or something. So she was the homicide officer. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Who am I kidding? If you'll allow me just a minute or two, I would like to take a quick break. No. I will be back. We will get into more of this. So thank you. Just a second. Don't change that channel. Hi, guess who's back? It's me. I'm back. Hi. I'm glad to see you didn't change the channel. Alright. We can get back to it, yeah. In our great homicide office that is not scary at all. Hi, back. Yep, that's my name. Back. Is this the first game? Indeed. Well, I guess it depends on how you break up the episodes. But in terms of, like, Dog and Rampa that I saw you were mentioning earlier, it would be the first, yes.